Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Back when I was doing my first round of Aurelium with the time blocking, I had an idea for something new I thought we could all do together that I intended to introduce during the summer. Well, time got away from me, and while the months were ticking by, my little idea bumped into a thought, and then it all kind of exploded into a whole new ordeal because I cannot do anything just straightforward, and no, I've got to add something to it, make it a little bit complicated, because yeah, it's just in my blood. So here's what I have in mind. I thought it would be fun to make a new spinner wheel because I do love spinner wheels and randomizing, but y'all are going to be the ones filling this wheel. I'm going to ask everybody to name one book that you want me to read. This can be one of your favorites, something that's on your TBR that you're really excited to get to. It can be a hyped book that you've heard about, but and you're considering reading yourself, or even something that it just gets a lot of shade thrown at it. That whatever, it's up to you, but you only get to pick one book. And like I said, I'm going to make a spinner wheel for it, which that's the straightforward part, because what I'll do every month is spin the little wheel and I will read whatever book it lands on. And that book will be a priority for me. It will be read and done every month, every time we spin it. Now, after I had some time to think about it, I was like, with the time blocking, it adds so much fun to your books. It takes it up to another level because it forces you to set it down potentially when it's right in the middle of a big scene, or right when some drama is about to unfold, or an unintended cliffhanger, and it just adds to the experience so much. So I thought, okay, what if not only do they give me a book, but they pick 4 random page numbers from their book. And when I get to that point, I have to stop and put down the book, and I have to wait, let's say, 24 hours at least before I can pick the book back up again. And originally I was like, I'll do a vlog on it, and there we go. That's something new we can do together. And then, of course, some more time went by. We ran into another round of Aurelium, and I didn't have time to fully develop this. So then I contemplated, well, instead of doing this as a vlog in just one video, what if we make it like a buddy read? Because buddy reads are fun, especially if you get in at the same time that everybody else is reading the book, and you make your comments and you can speculate together, or hiss at a character that you don't like, root on your favorite ones, or even guess what's going to happen. And I've noticed it's a lot more fun when you are able to read at the same time. It's not to say that it's not enjoyable when you come back after the fact, because the way buddy reads are on Storygraph is the comments will be waiting for you till you get to the book. So I thought, what if we did this in like a video format? So I will read your book, stopping at the point that you designate, and we will turn this into like a little mini series for the week. That way you can read along, hopefully, because these videos will be chocked full of spoilers, which is something I'm excited to do, because I try in all of my other videos to just keep it to vague, how I'm enjoying the book, my impressions and things like this. I always try to avoid giving anything away. This will be our chance to really get into the nitty-gritty and just share our thoughts and, like I said, speculations on what's going to happen. Now, I see this, it can go one of two ways. Either y'all are really going to love it, and this is going to be so much fun to dig into a book together over a spread out period of time, or it's going to come down to personal taste and timing, and these videos may just sit there and who knows, but they will be there when you are ready to dive into that book yourself. And unlike with the buddy reads when you come late, I'm assuming that doing this in video format, it will feel like you were right there at the very beginning and you're not just, catching up after the fact. So that's the plan. That's the theory. I'm not sure how it will play out, but I'm not afraid to experiment, so we will give it a go. So first of all, let me know if you're interested, if you like this idea, if it's, makes you go, yes. And then list your book down in the comments with the author and give your 4-page numbers. Now you can pull those numbers out of the air or use a randomizer. The only thing I suggest is don't go to the book and look for a good stopping point. We're going to leave that up to fate and see what kind of cliffhangers we get. Now, I would recommend you don't start with page 3. We need to get far enough into the book to have something to discuss for the first portion of it. And also try and spread everything out because we don't want to, do one at page 120 and then 135 because, there won't be enough happening within there. Although some books you never know. Now, if your book is on the shorter side, I say less than like 275, 250 pages, then maybe only 3 stops would be a good way to go. And if you are picking a longer book, then maybe 5 or 6 stops even would be a good idea. Which, by the way, it reminds me, I think we're going to call this the Start and Stop Buddy Reads. So let me know if y'all like that. So I'm really excited about it. I think this could be a lot of fun, and I'm really curious to see what books y'all will pick. Because I will, whatever the wheel comes up with, that's what we'll be reading. So I'm going to give y'all a week to list your book, and then I will build my little spinner wheel and find out what we'll be reading. And I'll come back with the announcement video for that, and then give you our start date, which I am thinking as of this moment will be in the middle of October. But again, that date will be, I will have that date when we spin the wheel. That way, if you want to, plan ahead and say, okay, during this week, I'm going to be reading this book. Or even if you want to read it before that point, if you're concerned you're going to have time then, you could read along and just kind of make notes to yourself for the page blocks. That way, if there's anything you want to bring up in the comments of the videos, you'll have that information. So I'm excited about this, and I'm curious to see what books y'all are going to come up with. I would like to say, keep a spooky season in mind. It would be fun if we had something related to the holiday, a ghost story, or horror, even a cozy fall mystery, something like that to play into a spooky season. But it's up to y'all. So I'm not putting restrictions on this. I will also start a community tab post, and I will compile the list of books that y'all have given. And if you decide that, like, no, I don't want that book, I want something else instead, you can change it over in the community post. So I will keep an eye on that, and I will watch the comments too. If we get multiple people picking the same book, I'll just make that portion of the pie bigger. So you get it. You'll see. I'm excited to see what you pick, and I hope this is going to play out the way I envision in my head. Who knows? Because I do tend to make things a little bit more complicated than they need to be sometimes. So I don't know how feasible this will be with, getting everybody on the same page at the same time. Speaking of making things complicated, I'm going to be playing 5 TBR games in October. I am going to have a massive list, but I will only be making a list of possibilities because I am not going to try to read everything. So if you haven't subscribed and you love TBR games, then you might want to push that little button because I've got a lot coming at y'all in October. All right. I will see y'all very soon with, if all goes well, the spooky season Halloween version of Just Spin It, which we'll be playing twice this month because I will be doing a bonus round for Phoenix Rose as well. All right, y'all have a great one, and I'm ready for spooky season.